This is a siphon pump, which is, you know, that experiment when you drain a higher surface, higher bucket of water to a lower point. So this is going to be a bucket of water, which we're going to drain because in my case, as I'll show you now, so the toilet is with a macerator pump. Yeah, that's a macerator pump, so that pumps water to a high point. Yeah, so as soon as you can hear it, and that obviously goes to my biogas digester, which is all in the training. And here, as you can see, I've got wetlands galore, pretty much at that level, wetlands. So this is a very, very low point. What we've got here is some clear tubing, yeah, and a whole bunch of these 45-degree elbows. Couldn't get them in clear, maybe one day I will. But the reason for that, look, I could just, you know, I was basically going to have these ones here, but looking at how this bends, I might not even need to. I might just be able to run it without these. But nevertheless, I was going to use them at the other end of the bath here, where it steps down and then when it goes up the wall. Yeah, but I'll show it to you. It's very easy to cut this pipe. Obviously, I'm going to be using a hacksaw. And I'm going to be using glue gun to tack it, but as soon as you put boiling water into this bath, the glue gun will come apart. So I'm just going to tack it with a glue gun, and then I'm going to come with with clear silicone and top up. Yeah. So this pipe really glues on. So the idea is basically, what's the problem with this bath? I'm off the grid. So I've been forced to get off the water grid for the main reason that my house is below the sewerage line, and when there is, I mean, I'm next to the river, so when the river gets flooded and the sewage pipe gets bent and broken, the sewage flows up my bath and up my toilet. So basically I had no other choice but to disconnect from the main sewer. We've cemented the main sewer line out, so if I keep on pouring water, eventually this water is going to stand here. So I'm going to close this hole up completely. I'm actually going to glue this thing in here, yeah, or even at the lowest point I'm going to glue all that stuff in. So basically I run this all the way to the end, yeah. So I'm going to glue this bottom part, but this is the lowest point, so I'm going to cut this piece off a little bit here. I'll show you right now. So this thing can go down, but what, like a centimeter. So let's do this, let's give it a try. And basically I will be able to suck the water from the lowest point, and obviously the plug point is the lowest point in the bath, and all the water will go down. At the bottom here will be all closed off. Oof. And so the water can't leak out. The toilet is separated, is going to a biogas digester, as I've shown you. So macerator pump chops up the poo and sends it up and to the sewer pipe, and then together with the other toilet from upstairs, it goes to the biogas digester. And now this is the last point that basically is still, you know, connected to that line, and I'm basically going to pumping the water out of the bath, which is going to take probably half an hour, and that's why I've gone for such a thick pipe. Yeah, I'll show it to you. So basically this end is going to be here, this end is going to be plugged into here. It's very cheap. It was $5 this thing. It was really cheap. It's a siphon, automotive siphon pump. You get it pumped out, and don't worry, you don't have to pump the entire bath with this little bastard. But basically you get it going to a lowest point, you disconnect, and you know, you put it into the wetland, and then the wetland will go through the wetland or to your nearby tree. Yeah, no problem. If you're not using anything toxic, but even Pantene or normal shampoos, okay for the trees, yeah. Obviously, I just go through the wetland because the wetland cleans all that out, and then the water is much cleaner, and then that goes into our organic vegetables through drip irrigation, which is the right way to do it, but I'm even spraying the water, but drip irrigation under mulch is the way to go, which is in one of the other lessons I've just recorded. So that's it. Basically, the bath gets drained to a lowest point. End of story. And that's why I've gone for such a thick pipe, because I really want this bath to drain fast. So, you know, if we're ever going to have, because it's a permaculture school, if we're ever going to have people coming and staying here, then we want to, you know, turn this thing around quite quickly. Anyway, so here, as you can see, need to cut this a bit off, and then that's it. So my face is gonna get out of the camera view, but probably not the best way to cut it, but you know, they really cut easily. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, and for the sake of aesthetics, I'm going to just gonna go clear over, you know, and take it all the way to the bottom, and then use the little elbows, because if I have a little ugly elbow here, just no, really. I just want to show you one joint here so you can get the vibe. Wanting to record this lesson for quite some time for you guys, but I just had to wait, you know. We had a massive sewage problem. The sewage, I'm not joking, it rose to this level. Bottom downstairs rooms, this bath was all in sewage, but I don't think anybody's had such a disaster like me. We've had a river flood here, and a river completely wiped out the garden, and hence I built this wall, which is also now draining, abundance of water, and then the sewage just kept, fourth time, it just flattened these two bottom rooms with shit from entire neighborhood. So here, I'm going to see it's coming off here, so I need to glue it a bit more. But you know, it's always better to cut a little extra than less. So basically, the other pipe is going to go like this. And you can, if you're in a rental property, you can just go through the window. And in my case, I'm just going to drill through the wall. But this is a perfect thing for rental property, because then, you know, then you can basically drain your bath in a IBC wetland tank, which we show how to build this constructed wetland earthship style in a small IBC tank. The beauty about those is they're transportable, and you can take them wherever you go with you. And the cage allows the cage keeps it, so you split the cage in half basically, and you know, that white container you also split in half, and then you're able to use it both sides. So one container can give you a double wetland, which is enough for people, for 3 people. If you're using like OK shampoos and more natural stuff, if not, you probably double that up. I know earthships, they're just using Pantene Pro V and whatever normal brands, but the wetlands are 30 feet, you know, so, but it's not necessary. Natural shampoos, or as I said, you could just send this water to a nearby tree, also very good. See, it came off now. Summarize, so I'll have it going up the wall and through the window or through the wall, yeah, and then to a lowest point, and then boom, that's it. The water will be sucked out of the bath. Oops. Yeah, but once I've done it, I'll show you the complete thing, and that's it. That's the last outlet. Every single outlet in the entire house is basically treated within the property through wetlands and then onto the vegetables. and plants and flowers. Toilet is to a biogas digester and then another wetland and then to a food forest, or it can go straight to a food forest without a wetland. Sewage is great for that, but in my case it doesn't smell because the wetland is obviously earthship style, keeps it all in the soil and the gravel and the roots, and it's all treated there. And we'll have a little gas cooker there on that side of the garden which can prepare meals in the evening, you know, in summer for example, when you want to save the gas. Using biogas, and it's highly flammable. That's it. Please check out our full training, Abundance of Water masterclass, and yeah, there's a lot more there, a lot more. This is really the last project. I'm just putting it open source to YouTube because I believe everybody should know how to recycle water with simple tools. I'm talking about you can do this project in a day with the wetland and this, and you can start recycling water even in a rental property. So I just need to find a way to close that hole. I'm thinking of using just a standard rubber plug. Just maybe trim it down or something. Here we go. Simple as that, or you can drill a hole in your wall. Okay, I'm gonna go give it a try. Let's see if you can see anything from this pipe. Now that I have tacked it with the glue gun and it's in place, but I found that it came off by the morning, so definitely need some bath silicone, and especially inside the bath, because when the water gets hot, the hot glue just melts again or just comes undone. You can just smear it. Yeah. Just to tidy it up. Let's go take it outside. Oh, there's a nice tank painted new. Some terraces. He's always been planting them crazy. Loads of flowers. And there's a siphon pump. See, that's all the air. Whoop, 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 whoop. You disconnect it quick, boom, it down. It's slow, but it's draining it. Okay, so I'm obviously see, I don't have my levels too low. It needs to be lower than the bath, and then it's not a problem. I just need to get to that low point, and then it can drain out. But in this case, you just need to tinker it with a little bit. But yeah, it's all gonna work. Okay, this is a little bit more advanced, because basically I need to get the bottom of the bath, which is, let's say, at the floor level, to the top of the tube, so I can see where exactly is the level. You know, because if I'm trying to pump water out almost at the, and I can't see it from outside, so if I'm doing it at almost the same level as the bath, I'll never have this thing drained out. I have to be lower. So my bath is 220, less than the top of that fitting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check where that fitting comes out from outside, because that's my guide. Or I could do the top of this window, that's also fine. And I'm going to get that 220 and more, you know. But in your case, you're most probably going to have a point lower than the bath. You can't get water higher than the bath. The only way to get the water higher than the bath is with the pump, or macerator pump. It takes the water from the lowest point and shoots it up 9 meters if you want. Okay, so this will get a little bit more technical and tricky when you do not have, when your outside is, you know, almost the same height as the bath, because then it's obviously useless. You gotta go to a lower point. So it might be even taking the pipe lower in your garden, which is what probably I'm gonna do, and run it lower, at least half a meter lower than, you know, or 30 centimeters lower. But you gotta be lower so the bath can drain out in this effect. Yeah, it's simple, it works, you've seen it. But obviously when the bath gets to a little bit, it's almost getting to the same level, and that's it. Here's the bottom of my floor outside, and there's that pipe that comes from the bathroom. And we're sitting at about 180, so I'm clearly, and it's raining, so I've got to get inside, so I'm clearly wrong level, so I need to take my pipe lower. That's why it's not draining out. Okay, I found the lower point in my garden. Here, we're going to throw some dirt in. Yeah, so it's definitely sucking, just to show you. And that's it. Bath is almost empty. So I'll show you what's the lowest point it'll suck. Obviously you want to keep a little bit of a gap between the rubber stopper, so it can suck, but there will be a little bit of water left, tiny bit. Okay, it worked. Excuse my hammer, but just don't want to get it low. I'll glue it now and I'll get it dry. But that's it. Look, it's very little water. It's just a little cloth, and then that's it. But it's tiny bit. It's really not much there to talk about. Yeah, it's tiny bit of. That's it. So that's how we do a bath. Draining of grey water without bashing through the walls, without cutting heavy duty pipes or anything. It's just a simple hose, a simple $5 unit, so you can now recycle your water literally for price of a second-hand IBC tank, which is those square white ones with a cage, $5 automotive siphon pump, the red thing, and a little bit of hose. There are all the reasons in the world for you now to recycle the water, and you can, I'm sure, do it for under 50 bucks for the whole project. Yeah, and it worked. And you can do it in a rental property. The IBC tanks are mobile, you can take them with you, and of course all of this can be just peeled off and leave no trace. Thank you for listening, and join me please in our abundance of water training if you feel the calling to learn how to take this whole thing to full water self-sufficiency with building your own water tanks, filtration with biochar, all DIY projects with your own hands, harvesting of rain, and of course recycling water multiple times, biogas installation, macerator pump, takes the water right up. Yeah, so the whole property is off the grid. As you can see, the light went just a bit down because we're running on solar. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please scroll below and leave any comments. Have a great day.